dead or alive. Welcome to you all.
Each of you has been individually selected because you represent the best fighting style in your specialized field. Soon, you will get a chance to prove that you are the best fighter in the world.
Hey, this thing kind of reminds me of a disco.
It's I, the one and only Coriana. Today I am back. I'm back for another video. And today we'll be talking about DOA 6. I will be defending this game. Psych, I won't be defending this game. Why I gotta say about DOA 6 that it was complete utter disappointing. It was a complete disappointment. Listen, I'm no long-term expert deep into the lore of the series and the game and development of the DOA series at all. I'm barely a fan. I played 2 games in this series, Dimensions and DOA 6. But from everything I learned and read about this game and heard, that DOA 6 is not as good as the past games. It's not as good as 5. DOA 6 is lackluster. A complete and utter disappointment. I mean, far from the mark, off the mark, away from the mark. You know? I guess. Listen, I don't know much about DOA, but I do know that this game failed. This game is no longer receiving updates. They dropped $1,000 whole DLC, didn't fix the netcode, and just left. Now they spend their time updating that beach game, DOA Beach, Como, blah blah, something you call that game. DOA did not deserve this. Alright? It did not deserve to be left like this, to be treated this way. As bad as the game may be in comparison to other past DOA games, because I don't think DOA 6 is that bad gameplay wise, but I do think the netcode is bad and has some odd choices. But regardless of all that, people shouldn't hate on DOA for the wrong reasons. You should hate on it for the lack of potential that it didn't show off. You should hate it for the netcode. You should hate it for Koei Tecmo abandoning the game. But you shouldn't hate it for, you should not hate this game for, is the breasticles and the waifu imagery. The waifus and the breasticles and the jiggle physics, all those jiggle physics, man, the jiggle physics. You shouldn't hate the game for that. You shouldn't hate the game for being a hentai game, whatever, when it's not even a hentai game, right? There are plenty of male characters in DOA. Alright, this is Skullgirls. The game is not Skullgirls, alright? It's not Skullgirls. There's plenty of male characters in the game, right? It so happens that the female characters have jiggle physics and they're big, boobas, right? Listen, that is not a reason to turn away from the game, right? Not a reason at all. Don't hate the game for the wrong reason, right? So now I'm in defending the game, right? I'm flip-flopping here, but I want people to hate the game for the right reasons. You shouldn't hate DOA for the wrong reasons. You shouldn't hate it for being a game with a lot of waifus, right? That isn't even a problem. Like, what is even wrong with that in the first place? Like, what's the problem with DOA having big boobay characters? Like, what's the problem with that, man? Are you like uncomfortable with that? Does that bother you? Are you really uncomfortable with the waifu characters? Are you serious? Like, you're really uncomfortable about that, and there's something wrong with you, right? What's wrong with you? I don't even know. This sounds wrong to me. Listen, there's nothing wrong with waifu characters. There's nothing wrong with the game. As the concept of DOA, right? The concept, the idea of DOA sits, nothing wrong with it. The gameplay itself, the actions they took is wrong, right? Listen, DOA 6 at this point may not ever be able to be saved, right? It may never be saved now. Koei Tecmo is never going to come back to the game. They're never going to come back to the game. I only hope that one day they make a DOA 7, which will be like in a decade from now, because DOA 6 flopped. It did horrible in the meter and everything, right? And they make way more money from that beach volleyball game, DOA whatever. So that really does suck that we're not going to get another DOA game for a very, very long time. And it's their fault. It's not the community's fault. It's always Tecmo's fault. Team Ninja, whatever, whoever, publishers developing the game, those two guys, right, is their fault for ruining the game's image, right? They could have done a lot better, right? I heard that at first they wanted to censor characters, and it didn't work out, right? They should have stick to their core values, right? They stick to the core values. Stick to the core values to just make the game better. Reduce all of that gotcha money, put it into the game, put it into the community, and make it better. But no, they decided not to do that. Drop $1,000 worth of DLC. Don't update the netcode. They didn't update the netcode. They did nothing to the game. Barely patched it. Barely updated it at all. And they just laugh. And that's why DOA is stuck in the mud with this horrible and garbage image. That's why it's barely being played these days. Barely. Alright, it's just above DNF now. How about that? So anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. These are my thoughts on Dead or Alive 6 and the DOA situation. Hopefully one day we will get another Dead or Alive game. It would be amazing and just as good as the past ones that people love and better. Alright, look forward to it.